All right, hello and welcome everyone to another weekly recap of the free to playthrough. So we did not get a ton done, and apologies that this video is also a day late, but I have been busy working on some other stuff that you are going to see very soon. So basically, we didn't get a ton done this week. It's mostly just been a rep progression, but also we have Chroma Prime now, along with our Zaw. So these are two very important items. Basically, the Kamacuras, this Pauper Kamacuras, is the cheapo build. It is just the Jai-2, the Shung, and the Dakram, which is a suboptimal version of the Kamacuras, but still incredibly powerful, and it is what you will have the best access to initially. And then, of course, Chroma. Chroma is going to be used for our orb hunts, and also Terrorist hunting once we get him all beefed up. He is the best damage dealer for both of those encounters, and well, for orbs it's technically that he's mainly the best solo pick, which I want to be able to do on orbs because it's very doable. So Chroma is for that as well, and this is the basic build that we've thrown together on him. It is fine, but it can be made a lot better, which I'm going to go over right now. First and foremost, Steel Fiber. We leveled it up a little bit just to make playing as Chroma easier for now until I get the upgrade to this. But basically, Steel Fiber is going to be removed, and in its place is going to be Hunter Adrenaline. So I basically have infinite energy. And with having infinite energy, that means I also will not need Fleeting Expertise anymore. And then when we remove Fleeting Expertise, we will have room for Transient Fortitude. Transient Fortitude is just going to be a huge amount of strength. So the main mods that are going to be on here is going to be Transient Fortitude, Blind Rage, Intensify, for the huge beef of our strength. That should be about enough strength. That's going to be about the level we want to be on. I might end up getting Power Drift and slotting it in where Mobilize is just to beef us up a little bit more. But that should be enough strength where damage dealing is going to be very easy for us once we get the Rubico Prime, which is also going to be a big thing once I pop myself up to MR10, which shouldn't take that long. Other things in this build that need to change: Blind Rage is going to need to be rank 8. That's going to be extremely important. And Narrow-Minded, the same, it's going to need to be rank 8. But I'm running a little low on funds now, so I can't pop them up right now. Same with Vitality. Vitality is going to need to be at least rank 8, just so I have a good basis of health to use. And then besides that, a thing that I would really love to get to accompany this build, but it's going to take a long time to get there, is going to be Magus Elevate, which is a thing for the operator. But I have the materials for that, but it's going to take literally weeks of farming to actually get that extremely powerful item. So that'll probably have to wait a little bit, and I'm going to have to settle for some other forms of healing while I am working my way up to that, like using fire on Chroma instead of ice. For those that are not aware, if you are on the fire elemental and you use your 2, it gives you this extra health, but that is also a heal because that health will stay when the ability runs out and you recast it again, and then it'll pop you back up again. So that's a method of healing in Chroma. It's not exactly the best or most efficient, but it exists. Now, let's talk about the Kamacuras. Obviously, Kamacuras I love very much. This is the cheap version, and this is the cheap build that you can throw on it at 0 forma. Even if you had what you should have, which is a rank 8 Blood Rush on here, it would still very much fit, and it is extremely powerful. Would you definitely love to have Primed Reach instead of regular Reach? Oh, absolutely. But regular Reach ain't no bitch, and it's gonna serve you just fine for, you know, killing entire rooms of guys. Also, this would of course love to be Tempo Royale and not Cleaving Whirlwind, but as a bonus, Cleaving Whirlwind is a little bit slower, but also gives us 300% damage if we're using the right combos on it. So that's a fair trade-off, and it's much better than having no stance whatsoever. So we've got this going for us. This is a majorly good melee weapon and can take you through pretty much any content where there is an enemy that is vulnerable to being hit with melee. There's very little that this weapon cannot accomplish, unless you're going hours into like survivals or whatever, and in that case, don't do that. Why are you doing that? So yeah, that's pretty much the progress that was made. It is 2 kind of huge pieces of progress. There's some pillars of what like is going to be done in the kind of run overall. But yeah, not a huge amount to say until we get things all beefed up. We need the Corvus in order to use that for hunting the orbs and stuff. That's going to be an ordeal. And basically, we've just got some items building for MR, or well, they're built. We just need to go through and level all this stuff and get a ton of MR. I also need to get more credits and start building another Sentinel to get a bunch of MR out of that, etc., etc. Lots to do, many things to level. We need to get to MR10 for the Rubico Prime, all kinds of stuff like that. But overall, not a ton. So that is basically what happened this week. The VOD went up very recently of like one major stream that we did of the free to play through, and I hope you guys enjoy. I will see you tomorrow.